Hi, guys. It's time for a week one video update. I'm your host, Jim, manager of the Flaming Homers, brother of the manager of the Jolly Rogers, father of the manager of the Invisible Cows. I still wonder what advantage would come to a cow from being invisible. It seems like a lot of things would just kind of run into you. But, that's what the boy chose. That's what the boy chose. All right, let's get down to business. There'll probably be a written update later in the week, but I don't know. Who knows? But anyway, here we go. Let's see. I'm looking at the screen. The Flaming Homers and You Betcha. This is my team, obviously, against You Betcha. Flaming Homers, we're looking like we're in a pretty rough situation. Down by about 30 going into Monday night. But Tom Brady is just the solution if you ever find yourself in one of those problems. Tom came up with 48.7 points, and the Patriots pulled off a miracle win, so it was really a 2-for-1 night for me. Flaming Homers win. You Betcha put up a lot of points and still lost, so that's kind of a heartbreaker. But anyway, I think You Betcha is going to be pretty formidable as the season goes on. Okay, smell this, smell this, and Liam Neeson. Well, all I can say about this is that Smell This is really all about beating the Invisible Cows. It's kind of like the Harvard Yale football teams. It doesn't really matter what happens in the rest of the season, but if you beat Yale, or if you're one of the bad guys, if you beat Harvard, then the whole season is a success. So the Smell This Invisible Cows rivalry is it's important, and it restarts next week 2. Smell This Invisible Cows. And I think that would be one of the flaws in being an Invisible Cows, that you could smell it pretty strongly. So Smell This drops its first game, but I mean, it's hardly even worth having to mention that, despite having Peyton Manning and the Tennessee defense and Willis McGahee, who went crazy for 19 points. Patrick Creighton, who normally gets about 3 points, came up with 20, so that's pretty good. Liam Neeson, by contrast, in addition to being a fine actor, also had Tony Romo throwing for, I think, 722 yards, which translated into 53 points. Maurice Jones-Drew had a good day. Marion Barber had a good day. And the New York defense kind of went crazy and poleaxed the Redskins for 18 points. Other than that, it was kind of sketchy for Liam, but they won 136-126, and so Smell This is heading straight to the cellar. And as Colin Cowherd would say, if they don't win next week, they're statistically unlikely to make the playoffs, but you knew that already. All right, here's probably the biggest surprise of the week. New manager, Tommy of the Jolly Rogers, really just, I don't know what to say. I'm just going to read off the point totals for his players. 38, 22, 19, 37, all right, 4, 8, 2, 11, 1, and 38 points from the Philly defense. It's unreal. Roethlisberger had an uncharacteristically strong game. Adrian Peterson, not uncharacteristically strong, but 37 points. Give me a break. Reggie Wayne, 22. Santonio Holmes, 19. Just kind of outrageous. And Tommy's slightly effeminate-looking avatar is winking at me as I'm talking, so I'm a little unsettled by that. He came up with a total of 183 points for his first fantasy football game and first fantasy football win, and his first fantasy football most points of the week, which is pretty good. And he didn't even have to put in Tiger Woods. That's the joke that he keeps doing again and again. Smack Attack 3 put up 115 points, so not bad. Phillip Rivers did what you expect him to do, about 30 points. But Greg Jennings, good game. Westbrook, about what you'd expect. So no surprises, 115 points. Could have been stronger. Still a decent game, but compared to 183 points, you're just not going to win that one. DeBiz against the Invisible Cows. The Invisible Cows, you know what I thought was funny is LT put up 9 points. You'd expect more from him. They sat him that whole fourth quarter, which I thought was very strange. Warner did his thing more or less, but everybody else on the Invisible Cows was a little bit of a disappointment. They were projecting 40 more points than they got, so not such a great game from any of their players. DeBiz, not much better, frankly, but eked out a win with 101 points. This wasn't really close because Jake needed LT to come up with a huge night. Didn't happen. And so DeBiz, on the strength of Cutler, Shockey had a great game. The Jets defense had a pretty good game. And so he walks away with a win there. All right, let's see who else is playing. Brutta is in the I. Well, the defending champion, the I, had a good game, 125 points. A good game out of Matt Ryan. Had double digits on many of his players, Larry Fitzgerald, Randy Moss, Joseph Adai, Ray Rice, guys like that. The I seems to always be able to look and find the points. Bretta Is had a week low 81 points, despite a good game from Aaron Rodgers and Tony Gonzalez of Atlanta, not the other Tony Gonzalez. But other than that, there's a lot of single digits for his players. Anquan Bolden didn't come up with much. Dallas defense kind of fizzled, and that was kind of the problem. So, sorry about that, Bretta Is. Better luck next week. Let's see. And finally, Ruff the Passer played Ghetto Superstar. Ghetto Superstar had a rough game as well. Schaub, I got to tell you, I think he may have already dropped Matt Schaub, and I don't blame him. 15 points. This is supposed to be a productive offense. Didn't happen. I don't see it. Vincent Jackson had a good game. Mike Bell for New Orleans sort of stepping into the big boy pants of running backs in New Orleans in front of Reggie Bush, had 12, but 83 points just wasn't enough. Ruff the Passer had a mediocre game with 107. McNabb obviously had a decent game, and of course his traditional early season injury. Cedric Benson played well, 107 points. They won. So let's see. Our winners this week are Flaming Homers, Liam Neeson, DeBiz, Jolly Rogers, The Eye, and Ruff the Passer. Naturally, Smell This and some of the other guys are already have one loss on the schedule. Next week, we've got some interesting matchups. Flaming Homers and Liam Neeson, winners from this week, are going at it. Smell This and Invisible Cows, like I said, big rivalry game early in the season. One of them's going to lose, one of them's going to win unless they tie. Smack Attack 3 and Brutta Is both looking for their first win. Jolly Rogers, can he keep it going? Can he score 180 points a week? I don't think so. But he might be able to score something, so take a look at that one. DeBiz and You Betcha. You Betcha had a strong game. DeBiz was mediocre. So if they play similar to the way they did this week, You Betcha ought to win that one. And finally, The Eye should pummel Ghetto Superstar unless Ghetto can come up with some new wrinkles in that offense. So anyway, that's about the size of it. I remain confident that the Smell This Invisible Cows rivalry will be heated. It is, Drew is a 50-year-old man trying to get revenge on an 11-year-old boy. But what are you gonna do? You gotta play the hand you're dealt, I guess. So anyway, that's the video update for week 1. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.